What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over a blitz found in the 4-3 odd defensive formation. This is only in the multiple D defensive playbook. There's no other playbook that has this formation out there. 4-3 odd, the blitz we're going to be going over to. This is actually a pretty old blitz. I think this is like Madden 16, but it's back. We're going to get into pinch zone 4. There's pinch sting, something that was from Madden. I can't remember what it was, from Madden 16. This is pretty close to how it is. This blitz does require adjustments behind it if you want to get good coverage. I'm going to go against trips tight end. You guys saw the play that he was using. Let's go into some sort of play action. There, PA slot corner. So this blitz is really easy to set up. The biggest suggestions, you guys saw I was using the Seahawks, and that was for Bobby Wagner. He's a supreme user for a middle linebacker. Of course, you could use Ryan Shazier, but ultimately I think Deion Jones and Bobby Wagner are probably going to be the two best user linebackers in the game of regs. Of course, you want to have a safety, but in this package, I have yet to find a way that you can get safety in that linebacker. Last year or the year before, I can't remember which one it was, you could get a safety in that middle linebacker, but it seems like they took that option out. So, anyways, the blitz is going to go ahead and be baseline, shift your D-line to the left, pinch your linebackers, blitz all linebackers, slant your D-line to the left. I think I said this already. Slant them to the left, shift left, slant left, and then QB contain. So this is what we're looking like. Now with your user, of course, I was using Bobby Wagner. I probably would use Bobby Wagner again in this situation. But you want to take him and bring him down to the left side B gap, and you're going to have him on a blitz. Now this blitz is going to give this little left guard a bump and a release, and it's going to come through clean. Now this is practice mode, so we're probably going to get some different results. But we'll go ahead and snap the ball right here. You can see right there, bada bing, bada boom. That's a little different than what I was doing in game. But you guys still see, even if he's blocking a running back, it's going to come through screaming. Again, it's going to be baseline, shift your D-line left. This is the slow one right now. Shift your D-line left, pinch your linebackers, slant your D-line to the left, QB contain, blitz all linebackers. I forgot, QB contain should be your very last thing. If you go ahead and blitz your linebackers, what happens is it looks like this, and it's just not going to come off as cleanly. So make sure you just keep contain at the very last step. And then, of course, bring your user right here, hover over the left side B gap, and bump somebody. You can see right there. In this particular situation, what's happening is the defensive end is also coming through clean. You guys saw in the previous video, sometimes we get what would be, shoot, I can't remember his name, not Jadavion Clowney. I always get mixed up. Whoever, maybe it is, I don't know, Seattle Seahawks. We'd always get this defensive end coming in free instead. Sometimes you'll get this linebacker coming in free, and if they're inside zoning, you'll get this guy to come through this A gap, or to the right of the defensive tackle, the right of screen A gap. So really easy. Baseline, which is Y, right on the D-pad. Blitz all linebackers right on the D-pad, down the right stick, shift your D-line to the left, slant them to the left, and QB contain. That's it. Now, as far as a little bit of coverage about trips tight end, sometimes what I may do is this. It kind of depends if they're running like a level cell or a double in cell. I might put B into a cloud flat and then put A into a deep half, especially if I expect them to bomb me over the top. And then I might do something like this, put this guy in the inside third and leave this guy over here on an outside quarter, just in case there is a corner out that he can jump down. I've seen quarters play corner outs a little bit better than outside thirds. Again, it kind of depends, but for the most part, this plays stock, at least stock coverage as far as we're concerned. Plays trips tight end pretty darn good. The only two things you really got to worry about is if they're having their tight end on like a drag or somebody on a slant. Your user's primarily responsible for the middle of the field, which is nice because when you're blitzing, it's really easy to bait them into throwing because they're thinking you're going to user rush, when in reality, all you're trying to do is bump this right guard and pick it off. So right here, let's check out this play. So Harris is running corner out. We got two corner outs and a post route with a drag in the middle field. Really got to worry about the post and the drag. It's going to come down to you, what you're going to give up, what you're going to take away, and just making the play as usual. Right there, you can see this time we get the middle linebacker coming through screaming, that would be the left. Think about that. The left outside linebacker that came through free in that circumstance. Now, sometimes I'm glad this happened. You'll get this linebacker that he'll come down to the line. It's random. I don't know why it happens sometimes, why it doesn't happen. Just let him do his thing. If he comes down the line, there's no need to back him off. It's just going to help oftentimes get TJ Watt or whoever your defensive end on that side to come through more clean. So again, baseline should be on left. pinch linebackers, blitz all, and then slant left, keep it contained. And then you can go ahead and set it up how you want your coverage from here, or whatever you guys want to do. This is something I may do. I may even get really, really risky right here. And I probably would never ever want to do this against a trips tight end, but maybe something like this, and then put this guy into an inside third, this guy in the outside third. I don't know. I probably wouldn't ever do this kind of defense, but just to give you guys an idea of what you can do as far as coverage assignments behind it. Generally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this guy in inside quarter, this guy outside quarter, and this guy into deep half, and this guy into a cloud flat, just in case they have a corner out or a tabor out, or they motion out a tight end to have out route. Cloud flats now, for some reason, jump out routes really good. I don't know why, but they do. Anyway, so you guys can see really easy blitz. This time we get TJ Watt coming off the edge. One thing I want to talk about a little bit really briefly about this cover 4, it's kind of a cover 4 quarters is the way I've noticed it playing. I don't know if it just doesn't specify what kind. It says cover 4, but there is a match behind this. You got to be aware of that, because you see the drag was getting matched by the outside quarter, the inside quarter was matching the corner out, and then the other side of the field kind of just varies what it's going to do. So be really careful with this. If you're worried about a one-play touchdown since it's kind of a cover 4 quarters, you're going to want to go ahead and play the sticks, and that's going to help everybody drop off. I have noticed if you play the sticks in this cover 4 particularly, then it still is surprisingly able to play corner outs fairly well. It will require a user click on if you let the CPU do it. The CPU is just simply not going to react quick enough as a user would to make the play. So if you play the sticks, you're looking for corner outs, click on, and you should be able to get into position and make a play on the ball. Now, you guys saw in those previous clips, the way it comes in is kind of sporadic and kind of random, who comes clean, who doesn't. But nonetheless, it's still coming through every single time. Again, this is in the multiple D defensive playbook. No other playbook out there that has this formation, the 4-3 odd. So if you guys want a little bit of a mini scheme, or if you want more tips out of this 4-3 odd or a multiple D defensive playbook, drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you guys are new. And until next time, get in the lab. This has been T-Meister. See ya.